had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay.
Hey, Cudahy to all my friends and relatives in 4 directions. This is Robert Pilot of Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake. I'm here to ask you for your support. Finding honest Native-centered news is not easy. But with your support, we're able to provide accurate information about Standing Rock, Line 3, treaty violations, and COVID-19 in our Native communities. Please visit Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon and donate if you can. That's Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon. Pinigigi, and thank you for your support.
The Minneapolis Police Department is hiring, and we're looking for people ready to lead, serve, and reflect the communities we protect.
Whether you're a new graduate, changing careers, or already in law enforcement, there's a path for you to join our department.
With top-tier pay, full benefits, paid training, and a direct path to making a difference, this is more than a job. This is your chance to shape the future of Minneapolis Police.
Choose service. Choose leadership. Choose Minneapolis. Visit our city website to learn more.
A reminder to anyone who rides Metro buses. That means the A, B, C, D, gold, orange, or red lines. Remember to pay your fare before you get on. Either buy a ticket at your station's ticket machine, tap your go-to card, or pass to the reader at the station, or activate a ticket on the Metro Transit app. Have your proof of payment ready to show to trip agents if asked or risk getting a citation. Thank you for your continued riding with Metro Transit.
Across Native communities, tradition and connection guide every step. Make voting a tradition, or MVAT celebrates that spirit, helping generations come together to shape the future of Native communities. MVAT has empowered Native American communities by bringing friends and families together to talk about important issues and sharing helpful information about how and where to vote. By learning from each other and leaning on trusted relationships, MVAT helps Native communities feel confident in voting and making their choices heard. Voting is more than a right. It's a way to protect the needs of your community and have a say in the future. MVAT has been helping Native communities across the state for 9 years, creating stronger, more engaged communities every election. Vote together, stand together. Explore a fact sheet that explains some of the elected offices on the ballot and why they matter to you, your family, and your community at makevotingatradition.org. That's makevotingatradition.org.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Tonight, rain continues with a low of 43, then Wednesday, sunshine with a high of 55. Join us at the Astor House in Minneapolis for Paul Metz's 70th birthday party this Sunday night as part of an AM 950 fundraiser. Show starts at 7 o'clock this Sunday night. Get your tickets at am950radio.com.
Portions of Native Roots Radio may be pre-recorded.
It's a good day to be indigenous.
Get up, stand up.
They are going to become more brutal.
Cody Cup, hit me cut again.
Because all the hippies were trying to be Indians anyway.
They're going to become more repressive because it's a matter of dollars and their illusionary concepts of power.
Hey, Victor.
We must live in balance with the earth.
And also with recent happenings at Wounded Knee.
I am awake.
Welcome to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Wakanja Hade. Present I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Robert Pilot. Hey, we discuss local, national, Native news and events, and as you know, Native issues are human issues, and human issues are Native issues. Hey, on tonight's show on Native Roots Radio, we have two incredible guests who are making a difference in our Native community. First, we're going to be joined by Natalie Rademacher, communications coordinator with Minneapolis American Indian Center. And Natalie will share updates on upcoming events, community initiatives, and important work happening at the center to support Native families, youth, and the culture. Also, really happy to have also joining us is Sandy Whitehawk, a respected author, speaker, and longtime advocate for Native American adoptees. And Sandy has dedicated her life to raising awareness about the impacts of adoption and foster care on Native people and helping reconnect adoptees with their tribal communities and culture. And so this is going to be a powerful conversation about healing, belonging, and community. And also, we'll be talking about the gathering of our children. Welcome to returning adoptees, foster children, adults, the gathering of our adopted returning adoptees powwow happening on Saturday at 1 p.m. and a lot going on. There's and it's at the Indian Center, Minneapolis Indian Center. And also, I just want to bring up a couple other things too. We're going to be talking about. Well, let me talk about this real quick, and then I want to get into another thing. On November 6th, at 6 p.m., Rihanna Yazzi's film Winter Love will be at the Minneapolis Institute of Art, and there'll be a Q&A with her afterwards, and it'll be exciting to see this great movie that she has. And then we're going to have Ajawak on the 23rd of November with Indian Horse, and he'll be doing a Q&A. And it's funny, I just ran into him today at a restaurant, so that's really exciting. And then Smoke Signals on the 29th of November, and that's a 2 p.m. Deal. And what I want to say about Minneapolis Institute of Arts too is that their stuff is free, and so if you go to there and want to go see these three great movies and spend some time there, it's free. So really, really excited about that. And I want to mention another thing too, and that you've been hearing on AM 950 at least, this big fundraiser here celebrating Minnesota music legend Paul Mesta in his 70th birthday. And with this special benefit is a concert for AM 950 radio, and it's on Sunday, November 2nd at 7 p.m. at the Esther House in Minneapolis. The evening doubles as a CD release party for Songs of Resistance and Respect, a 12-track collection of politically charged songs spanning from 1984 to 2025. And I think I heard of Paul Mesta back in 1984, 85. So it's exciting that he's been on AM 950 over 10 years. So I'll be there. Dinners and drinks are available from the full Astor House menu. Tickets links are at am950radio.com. Hey, and I want to bring Natalie on now. And Natalie, so good to see you. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, Robert. How you doing?
Hey, Natalie, I'm doing great, and I'm really excited to have you on. I want to talk about I want to talk a little bit about what's happening at the Minneapolis Indian Center, but I also want to talk about, kind of the history and things like that. That it's been around 50 years, and we have a lot of listeners all around Turtle Island here, and sounds like the police are going to come in.
Busted.
Yeah, just whisper what you're going to say, your answer, so they don't come. But hey, talk a little bit about that, the history, and let's talk about some events, because there's always something happening at the Minneapolis Native American Center.
Yeah, so we're celebrating our 50th year this year. The building opened on Franklin Avenue back in 1975. So we commemorated the anniversary. We had a big gala last month that I know you did a live show from.
Yeah.
It was really fun. Felt like the Emmys. You were like, who's wearing what and who's here?
Yeah.
That was a really good episode. But yeah, we did that, and our Indigenous Peoples Day powwow, we commemorated it. And so, yeah, the building looks really different than it did 50 years ago with our big renovation and everything. But the core missions stayed the same. And yeah, we've been serving our relatives for the past 50 years. And yeah, we hope to be there for another 50. So.
Well, what I like too, you said it looks totally different, but what I like is that the gym is the same. So in some senses, it kept a lot of the feeling of the old place too, which was good, and still people don't need to be afraid to come there because it's still the Indian Center.
Yeah, I think they really kept the soul of it and the foundation of it during the renovation. And when you look on top, you can see the water stains from when the ceiling used to leak. So they kept those intact. So we don't forget where we came from.
Yeah, sacred water stains. That's what I like to hear about. So wait, Natalie, before we get into it, what's going on at the Minneapolis Indian Center? I want to ask you a couple quick things about you. I have been kind of checking you out here online, and you used to be a radio person.
Yeah, I had so I worked up in Alaska during my summers during college. They have like seasonal work up there where they'll give you lodging and you'll be with kids from like all over the world. And so yeah, I waited tables and there was a little radio station in Talkeetna and they let me host like a little weekly newscast there, which was fun because a lot of people up there, they don't have phone service. And so it was like I would get letters that were written into the station and you'd read them on the air. And that was how families talk to each other. So I would like read a letter that would be like, "Hey, Barb, it's your mother. Meet me at mile marker 47 at 7:00 on Tuesday." And like that was how people got the word out. And so that was really, really fun.
That's some serious smoke signals happening. Hey, you're way too young to know. Have you ever heard of the show Northern Exposure?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that was kind of the same vibe too. And I know, and I had flashes too of smoke signals when they had the reporter on top of that broke down camper and said, "Oh, nothing's happening out here."
You're looking for the news.
Yep. Oh, they're arguing again in the car. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's fun. How many years did you do that?
It was just for one summer. So yeah, not very long, but it was fun. I liked it. And I was running the audio board while doing it. So you'd be running a live show and doing everything all at once. And the power would go out if it overheated. So it was, I learned a lot. It was very messy, but a really good time.
It was very messy, did you say?
Yeah. It'd be like the power would be going out and you'd be trying to run the soundboard and reading the news and
yeah, that's crazy. Well, talk a little bit about, we got a minute left in this segment, and then I want to talk a little bit about what you do for the Minneapolis Indian Center, and then we're going to get into some things that are happening this week and this month.
Yeah, that sounds good. Happy to get into it. We've got a lot going on, so I'll cover what I can.
Well, yeah. Well, tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do there.
Yeah, so I'm the communications person at the center. So that's kind of whole bunch of different things, but basically I'm just trying to get the word out about what we got going on. So telling the community what's happening and when to come to the building and also inviting people in. So we rent out our spaces for conferences, meetings, powwows, all that jazz. And so it's really getting the word out and inviting people to come in and be at the center, come to gatherings, come shop at Charlie's shop. And it's
exactly. Hey, it's Native Roots Radio. We'll be right back after the short break. Please stay with us. Ho!
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Are you a Metro Transit rider? Join the free Riders Club and let your voice be heard. Our motto is Transit Voices United, and when you become a member, you'll participate more closely in decision-making, plus earn the opportunity for exclusive merchandise at Metro Transit events. Help improve your transit system. We value your opinion. Join at metrotransit.org/Riders Club and start being rewarded today. That's the Riders Club at metrotransit.org/Riders Club. A reminder to anyone who rides Metro buses. That means the A, B, C, D, gold, orange, or red lines. Remember to pay your fare before you get on. Either buy a ticket at your station's ticket machine, tap your go-to card or pass to the reader at the station, or activate a ticket on the Metro Transit app. Have your proof of payment ready to show to trip agents if asked, or risk getting a citation. Thank you for your continued riding with Metro Transit. We've all seen the effects of wood smoke pollution this year, so before hosting that backyard bonfire, follow these simple tips to protect yourself, others, and the environment. Remember to give your neighbors a heads up before building a fire so those who find wood smoke bothersome can close their windows. Make sure to never burn wet or recently cut wood, other yard waste, plastic, or garbage. These things can be toxic when burned and create excess smoke. For more tips on how to burn responsibly, visit epa.gov/burnwise.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio Presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot. Hey, welcome back, everyone, to Native Roots Radio Presents I'm Awake. And hey, I am here with Natalie Rademacher. How did I do?
You killed it. It's perfect.
Thank you so much. Yeah, one in a row. You know, if you listen to the show, and I know you do every once in a while, I'm a very, not good with names. Maybe it's my reading skills or whatever, but I've been working on it. I'm 64, going on 65, and I think I will get this down someday. Hey, you are the first communications coordinator for the Minneapolis American Indian Center, and that's exciting, always being the first. And really, we're talking a little bit at the end there. I want you to mention, too, what else is going on at the, you mentioned Charlie, and he's an icon, and he's been in the Indian Center for many, many years.
Yeah, we joke that he comes with the building because he's just always been there.
Yeah, and it's great. And then there's not a museum, but it's a gallery. And then, of course, you have the gym, and then you have all these spaces, too, that I know it's unbelievable how many things are going on there. Let's talk a little bit about what's happening there. And I touched a little bit before you came on about the powwow Saturday, but there's something going on once or twice a day.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing. We have a building calendar, and it's just every day there's 5 or 6 things happening, different programs, and then we also rent out our spaces. So every day you don't know who's going to be there. Like today alone, we had United Way had a big panel in the morning. Deloitte was there in the afternoon. They're doing some video filming. And we're getting ready. We have our big Halloween event tomorrow. So the building's getting all decked out for that right now.
Well, talk about that. What's going on? So can somebody almost 65 years old come on down and get some candy?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're more than welcome. Gotta be careful in the haunted house, though. You gotta protect your heart.
Yeah, you know it. All those cigarettes I smoked back in the 70s and 80s, I know that messed with my heart.
But yeah, we got a whole lot going on. We've got a trunk or treat event. So the parking lot, there's like 19 vehicles that are participating, and they're all decked out, and people are coming in costumes, and they'll be giving out candy from 5 to 6. And our elders are part of that. They all have been making Minion costumes all week, like from the Despicable Me movies. And so they've got a vehicle, and they look great. Their costumes are amazing. So they'll be there. A bunch of other orgs in the neighborhood are going to be part of that. And that's in the parking lot from 5 to 6. And then our basement, we turned into a haunted house, and it's super spooky. Like, it is next level. It's already kind of spooky down there because it's a basement from the 1970s. But yeah, we've like decked it out. And so that'll be from 5 to 7. People can come through. And then we've got drum and dance as well. So there'll be sandwiches served in Neby Hall from 5 to 6. And then the gym will have drum and dance. And they're doing like a costume contest, spot dances. What else they got going on? Musical chairs and a prize walk. So it'll be, the whole building's going to be part of the festivities. And people are going to be in costumes. And everyone's invited to come and participate. Should be a really fun evening.
That sounds fun. So what are you dressing up for Halloween? All Hallows Eve.
Oh, so I'm part of the haunted house. I'm a zombie, so I'll be down there.
Jeez. Well, the sad thing, you keep alluding to like 1975, but the sad thing is I remember 1975 pretty well because then the next year was the bicentennial, but that's all I remember. But It was if you were around in the 70s, you really weren't. You don't remember things, but yeah, I'm getting up there. What else is going on? I know we talked. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on Saturday. I'm really excited. We're gonna have Sandy Whitehawk up next, and we're gonna talk about her and what's going on with this powwow that's been going on for 19 years.
Yeah. So we got the big adoptees honorary powwow on Saturday. I'll let Sandy talk more about that. I know she's coming on and can talk more about what the event entails, but that'll be the big event this coming Saturday at the center.
And then the weekly things, I know you have drum and dance, and then you have a couple well, this is another thing I want to ask you about too, because possibly people don't know, but I know Franklin Avenue, people from all over Turtle Island like to come to Franklin Avenue and check it out. You guys have a workout room, you have a pickleball going on at night, you have all these things happening, and it's free of charge.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing. We've got our fitness center and our gym, and that's open to anybody. You just have to sign up on site to use the spaces. And yeah, then we've got a pickleball league, Auntie's Night Out, pickleball, basketball, volleyball. We have a run club that we started last year. And then we also have like fitness classes. We've got like a high intensity interval training that our fitness manager, Joe, leads. And one of my favorites it's called Tradish Fit, where Miko Sampson, who's like a world-class hoop dancer, every Tuesday at 2 leads like an hour-long workout in our gym that's open to anybody. And he also live streams it, so you can participate from anywhere. But it's kind of amazing because he's like a professional hoop dancer, and he's just there to teach and instruct, and it makes it really accessible for everybody.
Wow. Let our people know that aren't listening or watching us or listening how to get a hold of you, or the Facebook or the website, how people can find out more information.
Yeah, if you so we're on Facebook. That's probably the best place to get info. It's the Minneapolis American Indian Center. And every Monday we post like a schedule of what's happening that week, just because there's so much going on every day. So that's the best place to get all the info. Otherwise, our website is maicnet.org. And we've got a calendar out there too.
It's really interesting too what's going on with the building, because there's an upstairs now that it is like it's an open office. It's amazing to see what's happening up there, and I got a chance to sneak up there one time after it was opened, and I was just like going, "Wow, this is awesome."
Yeah, it's amazing. We've got a bunch of meeting rooms, and we rent those out too. So a lot of orgs in the neighborhood will have meetings there, and it's kind of fun. It's kind of open to anybody. So it's been amazing to see who's come in and used the spaces since we started that rental program.
And you just need to contact you, or get on the website and the Facebook and contact.
Yeah, we've got a form on our website, so it kind of shows all the spaces that are available to rent, and then you can fill out an inquiry form. And my colleague, Kateri Tuttle, runs that space rental program, so she's been filling up the building, and we're in kind of high demand. We've got a lot going on, so we encourage people to get in early if you want space.
Yeah, and I believe that, and that's why I think it's really important to have you come on the show, because it's every time I look, I go, "Oh, I missed something. There's something going on." Really, And then let's talk a little bit too about that restaurant, because I like to go in there and have a walleye sandwich there every once in a while. Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, it's so good. We have online ordering, so you can order from your desk and just pick it up downstairs, and it's dangerous. Accessible lunch. If you give them an extra $1, they might bring it up for you. You don't have to move at all.
That sounds good, but I'm 3.4 miles away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd have to give more than $1.
Yeah, you might have to tip a little bit more to get that.
Right. Well, so talk a little bit about the name of the restaurant, and kind of the few things that they have, and it's really, really, I want to say it's very clean food, and it's very delicious.
Yeah, so we've got Gatherings Cafe located within the center, and it's been here since 2016, but during the renovation, the restaurant was really revamped. So it's got a brand new kitchen space and dining space that overlooks Franklin Avenue. And we got a new head chef, Vernon Defoe, and he really like tweaked the menu and added stuff to it. And yeah, it's really amazing. They serve fresh food that's native to Turtle Island. And so it's really accessible food like bison melts and salads, tacos, but it's really rooted in ingredients that are native to here. And they really try to source from local native producers when they can. So we get our fish from Red Lake, bison from Wisconsin. They really just try to keep it local and help support the producers in the community. Yeah, the food's really good. They've got, just really delicious salads and tacos, and their baked goods are fantastic. So I recommend going there for breakfast. They've got fresh muffins and cookies and all sorts of good stuff.
Wow. All right. Well, that's it. I'm going there tomorrow, and then I'm going to go. Hey, so last minute here. What do you want people to leave us with about your job and about what's happening on Franklin Avenue, and especially, with the Minneapolis American Indian Center?
I feel like we'll just say it's open to everyone. And I think one big announcement that we made today was that we're a Bush Prize honoree. So yeah, that's been our big, we've been kind of keeping it a secret for the last few weeks. So we're excited to be able to announce it to the world today.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Natalie, for coming on. That's to make this an annual thing. I really appreciate you and all the information that you gave us, what's happening here. So thank you so much. A big peeny gigi.
Yeah, thanks, Robert.
We'll see you up next. Sandy Whitehawk. Ho, this is Native Roots Radio. All My Relations Arts presents Matrilineal Memory by Hopi artist Michaela Schaefer. This powerful exhibition blends painting, poetry, and installations, inviting reflections on memory, culture, and healing. Join us for the opening reception Thursday, October 16th, 6 to 8 p.m. at All My Relations Arts on Franklin Avenue in Minneapolis. Matrilineal Memory runs October 16th through December 13th. Experience the unveiling of an exhibition that speaks to the heart. Learn more at allmyrelationsarts.org.
Are you a Metro Transit rider? Join the free Riders Club and let your voice be heard. Our motto is Transit Voices United, and when you become a member, you'll participate more closely in decision-making, plus earn the opportunity for exclusive merchandise at Metro Transit events. Help improve your transit system. We value your opinion. Join at metrotransit.org/Riders Club and start being rewarded today. That's the Riders Club at metrotransit.org/Riders Club.
Minnesotans age 65 plus might qualify for Health Partners Minnesota Senior Health Options. The easy all-in-one plan includes personal support, coverage for medical, prescription drugs, and dental, plus many extra benefits. Eligibility information is available at healthpartners.com/oneplan. Health Partners is a health plan that contracts with both Medicare and the Minnesota Medical Assistance Medicaid program to provide benefits of both programs to enrollees. Enrollment in Health Partners depends on contract renewal.
Across Native communities, tradition and connection guide every step. Make voting a tradition, or MVAT honors that spirit, helping generations come together to shape the future of Native communities. By learning from each other and sharing knowledge through trusted relationships, MVAT helps build trust and make sure Native voices are heard. Voting is more than a right. It's a way to protect the needs of your community and build the future you want. Vote together, stand together. Learn more at makevotingatradition.org.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
We've all seen the effects of wood smoke pollution this year, so before hosting that backyard bonfire, follow these simple tips to protect yourself, others, and the environment. Remember to give your neighbors a heads up before building a fire so those who find wood smoke bothersome can close their windows. Make sure to never burn wet or recently cut wood, other yard waste, plastic, or garbage. These things can be toxic when burned and create excess smoke. For more tips on how to burn responsibly, visit epa.gov/burnwise. A reminder to anyone who rides Metro buses, that means the A, B, C, D, gold, orange, or red lines. Remember to pay your fare before you get on. Either buy a ticket at your station's ticket machine, tap your go-to card, or pass to the reader at the station, or activate a ticket on the Metro Transit app. Have your proof of payment ready to show to trip agents if asked, or risk getting a citation. Thank you for your continued riding with Metro Transit. With your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Tonight, rain continues with a low of 43, then Wednesday, sunshine with a high of 55. Nightingale is your cozy, comfortable neighborhood bar and restaurant at 26th and Lyndale in Minneapolis. Come in for the famous Nightingale burger or the ginger tamari chicken wings. View their menu or place a takeout order at nightingalempls.com. KTNF AM 950, St. Louis Park, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Hi, I'm Jane Fonda, and you're listening to Native Roots Radio.
And we're back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot. Hey, welcome back, everyone. Joining us right now is Sandy Whitehawk, a respected author, speaker, and a longtime advocate for Native American adoptees. Sandy has been dedicated her life to raising awareness about the impacts of adoption and foster care on Native people and helping reconnect adoptees with their tribal communities and culture. It's my really great pleasure to say, great to see you. Thank you so much for coming on. And we have a lot to talk about. Welcome, Sandy.
Oh, thank you, Robert. Thank you for asking me to be on your show. Your show is awesome. I don't get to tune in as much as I'd want to, but you're doing an awesome job. And how'd you get Jane Fonda?
We were at a protest, and I came up with my phone and I said, please, will you do this? And 3 takes later, she did it, or she got it. So
that's so
cool.
Awesome.
Funny. Yeah,
That's
used to have Leonard Peltier do one too for us, and but he's gotten out of prison since then because he gave his address. And you're listening to Native Roots Radio. Yeah, we'll have to have you do one soon too. But I want to talk about Gathering for Our Children and Returning Adoptees powwow first, and,
yes.
And we got a couple segments here, and I'm so excited to be a part of this. And it's the 19th year. Let's talk a little bit about the beginning and
sure,
and what's happening this Saturday.
Yeah, the powwow actually came about without, it was just conversation in the Black Hills, June 21st, 2000. We brought the, Jerry Dearly was asked by Chris Leith to make a song for adoptees because, we have a song for everything, veteran songs, naming songs, we just do. And I said, I've been powwow dancing and I've been in all Canada and all these places, and I never hear us talk about us. And we don't have a song. And I felt kind of funny talking about it to Chris because, he was a respected elder, and who am I to, and he just goes, well, there should be a song. You're right. That's what it was about. And so he asked Jerry Dearly to make this song for us. We brought it out in the Black Hills at World Peace and Prayer Day that year in June 2000. And people came from Canada and all over the place who saw the advertisement that we were going to have this song and ceremony welcoming our relatives. When we got done, it was so moving. I remember I came up to Jerry and Dave Chief from Pine Ridge, who was he was a Arvo Looking Horse's spiritual advisor. And I said, oh, you guys, I said, that was amazing. Wouldn't it be really amazing if we had a powwow and we just stopped at in the middle of the powwow and we welcomed relatives back and then we went right back to dancing? And I remember Jerry goes, Sandra, if you plan it, we'll help you. And I thought, wow, okay. Well, I had not gone back and gone, okay, I want to do this now. I just stored it. And I was at Niqua, and there's a social worker there, Tina Nafla, who worked at Hennepin County, who witnessed us do the ceremony at Niqua, welcoming relatives. She came up, introduced herself. and said she would just like to talk to me some more. Well, we didn't talk anymore then, but she emailed me, and I kept ignoring her emails because I didn't. She knows I've told this story. Because I got a bug up my butt about white social workers working in child protection. I just didn't want to talk to anybody like that. And yet Chris Leith told me one time I was at his house, and I was said to myself under my breath, "Oh, geez, there she is again." And he goes, what are you looking at? And I said, "Oh, this social worker keeps emailing me about a powwow she'd like to plan, blah, blah, blah." And he goes, "Well, yes, we should work with Hennepin County. That's where," and so I had to get schooled and get all my junk out of the way. And so in 2003, with Tina's leadership through Hennepin County, they organized that first powwow, welcoming our relatives, had it at the Indian Center. And I was not living here then yet. And it went over well. And a couple years later, I moved here and then was offered a contract to organize this yearly event. So I started doing that. And Jackie Wilson at the time worked at the Indian Center. And so she came on board to help. And then through the years, there's been Jackie moved away for a while, then came back, and Tina was always there, but we just kept doing it every year. And I wanted to do it in November because that's Adoption Awareness Month, and use that time to talk about it. So through the years, a lot of many adoptees and birth relatives have traveled. A lot of local adoptees have come forward, and I've been part of the ceremony and feel what's really cool is there's a part of the ceremony where we call everyone we call everyone out to the center. And we have a pipe, we use the song, use our jingle dress dancers. My favorite part though is we ask the community to come out and shake their hands. And they do. And when they do, they say all kinds of things to them, like "welcome home." Someone could be from Denver and they're actually a Lakota from Pine Ridge.
Wow. But
this community, we don't have those geographic borders. We're connected as relatives no matter where we are. And they might say, "welcome home," or "we're so glad you found your way," or they say all kinds of things, give them a hug. And so that is what validates the grief and the loss. It helps fill that void of, first, do they even know about me if they've not met their, biological family? What do they think of me? And so it just, it touches them in all those complicated areas of adoption. And so and even those I've found through my work that adoption, many Native adoptees were placed in homes that were not safe, and they went through a lot of abuse, a lot of racism. But what I've found is that there are not many, but there are a number of adoptees whose placement was very loving and stable. I'm so grateful when we get to hear that. But there's still grief and loss of identity, who we are, where we come from. So love can't replace that. The only thing that can replace that is our people, our ceremonies, our songs. So it's just been an incredible journey. And so here we are in the 19th year of welcoming our relatives. And I'm so glad you came on board, because you got great ideas, and it'll expand and be awesome.
Well, I appreciate that. I believe I met you when Blood Memory came out.
Yeah.
And that's a documentary about an adoptee yourself, and also really about ICWA too, and the pushback of that. I remember asking you a question too years ago, what do we do with these mothers? How can we support these mothers, that are giving up their children? And do you remember what you said to me?
No.
Give them the money instead of the
Oh,
foster.
yeah. Put the money in the beginning of this if they find a family in crisis. Yeah.
Made
Don't
so
give the
much sense. Never forget.
$1,500 to somebody who may end up abusing them. Give it to the mom who needs the help.
I'll never forget that. It makes so much sense, and it's like that
Yeah.
shouldn't be thinking out of the box. That's right in the box, and so
Well,
common sense and things like that. I really appreciate you, and you also have written a book too. Do you want to give the title of that? That's unbelievable book.
sure. It's called I always have to think because it wasn't my original title. A Child of the Indian Race, A Story of Return. And A Child of the Indian Race is in italics to show and demonstrate that it's a quotation, and that's exactly how I was referred to in my adoption papers. So that, said child is a child of the Indian race. So that the Minnesota Historical Society, they came together and they felt that would make the best title.
Huh.
So
I want you to, because we get a lot of people, our Native brothers and sisters watching us on Facebook and YouTube and Blue Sky. I want you to quote yourself when Ho-Chunk was saying, "All we want is our money back." And I think I think that's something that I really want to emphasize what you said in the book and said to this person. Could you just show
sure.
everyone the story?
And I certainly don't want to disparage the Ho-Chunk community because I have many awesome friends in Ho-Chunk tribe in Wisconsin who were very vital. They were vital in my healing process.
Yeah.
But I'm at this clan meeting by invitation. They wanted to know the story, and I was going to talk with them about the very first welcome home powwow that we were going to have in Kashina. So, for those of you who don't know, that's Kashina, Wisconsin, the Menominee Reservation. And this one elder said, well, when you guys come back, you're really rude. You're disruptive. But I know he said rude, and all you want is per cap. That's all you're interested in. And I waited. I didn't say anything right away, and I thought. And then I said, I wish I would have thought to print up the emails that I receive where people will say, my tribe gets this or that, or I might be eligible for land, but I don't want any of that. I just want to know who I am and where I come from. So I told them that that's not what we need healing. And so he didn't say anything after that. And I didn't want to make him feel bad either, because I understand that, we have a lot of pain, historical trauma. So, but it's true. We don't really want anything more than our name.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I really appreciate that. Hey, we're here with Sandy Whitehawk, and we are talking about the big powwow this weekend and about other things too. Hey, this is Native Roots Radio, and we're going to take a quick short break. Please stay with us. Again, Native Roots Radio.
The Minneapolis Police Department is hiring, and we're looking for people ready to lead, serve, and reflect the communities we protect.
Whether you're a new graduate, changing careers, or already in law enforcement, there's a path for you to join our department.
With top-tier pay, full benefits, paid training, and a direct path to making a difference, this is more than a job. This is your chance to shape the future of Minneapolis police.
Choose service. Choose leadership. Choose Minneapolis. Visit our city website to learn more.
A reminder to anyone who rides Metro buses. That means the A, B, C, D, gold, orange, or red lines. Remember to pay your fare before you get on. Either buy a ticket at your station's ticket machine, Tap your go-to card or pass to the reader at the station or activate a ticket on the Metro Transit app. Have your proof of payment ready to show to trip agents if asked or risk getting a citation. Thank you for your continued riding with Metro Transit. We've all seen the effects of wood smoke pollution this year, so before hosting that backyard bonfire, follow these simple tips to protect yourself, others, and the environment. Remember to give your neighbors a heads up before building a fire so those who find wood smoke bothersome can close their windows. Make sure to never burn wet or recently cut wood, other yard waste, plastic, or garbage. These things can be toxic when burned and create excess smoke. For more tips on how to burn responsibly, visit epa.gov/burnwise.
All My Relations Arts presents Matrilineal Memory by hobby artist Michaela Schaefer. This powerful exhibition blends painting, poetry, and installations, inviting reflections on memory, culture, and healing. Join us for the opening reception Thursday, October 16th, 6 to 8 p.m. at All My Relations Arts on Franklin Avenue in Minneapolis. Matrilineal Memory runs October 16th through December 13th. Experience the unveiling of an exhibition that speaks to the heart. Learn more at allmyrelationsarts.org.
Hi, this is Representative Sharice Davids from Kansas. I'm Ho Chunk, and you're listening to Native Roots Radio.
And we're back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot. Hey, welcome back, everyone. We are here with Sandy Whitehawk, and you heard the bumper, Sandy. Sharice Davis, a little bumper there. Her mom comes to our powwow, too. Oh, I got you muted. Sorry. Go ahead.
It was so cool. She's a veteran too, retired Army, I believe, veteran. And so it was really cool because a couple years ago when she came, we had her bring in a flag. We needed an extra veteran, and it was really awesome to be able to have her step in and fill that position in the color guard. But yeah, she came years ago, and it's pretty awesome, and I always say, part of the policy of adopting us out, because there was a policy, a governmental push to place us, and the intent was just the same intent as boarding school: get us away from our families and culture. And there's right there showing didn't work for them, for their family, and it didn't work for me and all these other thousands of adoptees who are wanting to find their way home and become who they were meant to be within their tribal communities.
Yeah, it's so important and who you are, because that's when for me, that's when a lot of my healing begins too. Because I never knew you missed things until then, and then when you do, you kind of got sad.
When you go, that's what that was, because we don't have a language for that. We're just placed in this environment where we're supposed to meld in and become like we're some kind of blank slate. And in some ways, we're able to receive love because most of us can receive that, but it all depends. And so there's just not a language to say, hey, I need to know who I am and where I came from. I never said that because I didn't know that's what I needed.
Right. Yeah. I remember when I was running for legislator, and we had a meeting with Marlene and you and I thought one of the nicest and smartest and greatest things you told me, if it ever came up, you're just a new ho-chunk. Well, do you remember what you said to me?
I do. I said, well, one thing I can say about Robert and any adoptee, but especially Robert, having gotten to know you, I said, he knows what it's like to live without culture. He knows what it's like not knowing who his people are. So he would always fight for anything that would maintain the integrity of the Ho-Chunk culture. And you got to you are voted in.
That's right. And not only that, what you said too is you've always been Ho-Chunk.
Yes. From the time you were born. No one can take that away from you.
Yeah, and that's amazing, and that really hit me and stayed with me, because that's the truth. And I think our new adoptees that come and join us or reach out to you need to hear that you
Yeah.
always were who you are.
Yep. In my healing, I was 7 years sober when I found my family in Rosebud. And was a short time after that I realized, oh man, that deeper healing that I needed to have from that loss of my identity. And that the things that I felt growing up had validated all my feelings of not fitting in, not being good enough because I couldn't fit in because I was who I was. And I have wonderful friends in my high school class, but for the most part, it was exceptionally difficult.
Mm-hmm. Well, what's interesting too for my family, I'll never forget one of my daughters. I won't say her name because I don't want to embarrass her. When she heard the drum for the first time,
Mm-hmm.
started crying. So it really affects generations and generations, this adoption and lack of culture.
Exactly. I'll never forget the first time I heard the drum as well. Yeah, I can still see my first grand entry and that first time home, spending time at the powwow. I remember I had to keep going and running to the outhouse because I just was crying and crying and crying. But that was healing tears,
Yeah.
I needed to have those. And yeah, so the
Yeah.
powwow this Saturday,
Mhm.
come and dance, come be part of the welcoming. The ceremony is going to be around 4:00 between 3. I think it's more closer to 3. Come and be there. If you're a jingle dress dancer, you can be part of the ceremony by
Mhm.
dancing. When we call the dancers to come out to offer their healing, fanning them down. So yeah, it's fun. It's a nice little powwow.
Yeah, and it grand entry starts at 1 and, there's another grand entry at 7. I think one of the heaviest things that my first one, which was over 10 years ago, I think people shaking your hand and welcoming you back, just thinking about that is pretty emotional, and some
Yeah.
people I didn't know at the time too, and it's so
Yeah.
powerful.
Yeah. Sometimes there's adoptees who'd never been welcomed and they never even talked about being an adoptee. And then I was just in Tulalip. They had a celebration bringing their relatives back. And I told them, I said, you're going to find people who've lived in your community for 20 years, but have never talked about their experience. And I said, and
Yeah.
sure enough, there was one there who shared, and that healing was brought to her, through their ceremony. So that was my vision, is that every year at our annual gatherings, tribes would welcome their relatives back. It doesn't take long. Take
Mhm.
an hour, if that, to bring
Yeah.
on that kind of healing.
That's so powerful. It's funny that you say that too, because I went to junior high and high school here in the Twin Cities with Ho-Chunks. I taught in high school. I I taught in high school. My cousin, she was one of my students. So our relatives are everywhere. We just don't know that. And
Yeah.
but always had a great connection with her. My former student too. We had the same humor. We'd see each other in the hallway and do funny things, and then I find out many years later, she's my cousin.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So what I'd really, what else would you like to say? We got a couple more minutes here, and I
Well,
think how can go ahead.
just come and enjoy the day. Come if you're a former fostered individual. We're having a meeting at 10 a.m. upstairs. Robert's going to be at the door greeting individuals. If you are
Yeah.
a birth relative, if you are a former fostered and or an adoptee, you are all welcome to come up, and we have a meet and greet, a talking circle. And it's really feels good to meet other adoptees if you've not met other individuals, especially if you've not met individuals who've gone through with what you've gone through. So it's not a time of bashing and anger. it's a time of reconnection and love.
That's perfect. Wow. Sandy, thanks for coming on. It's this Saturday at 1 p.m., a gathering of our children and returning adoptees powwow at 1530 East Franklin Avenue in Minneapolis. And we have people from all over the country coming. So we're it's always pleasant to see, oh, you're from Colorado? Oh my God. How'd you hear about it? And they've seen you speak across the country and things like that. So thanks again, Sandy.
Yeah. Thank you, Robert. I'm looking forward to Saturday.
Me too. Thank you so much. Wow, I can't believe. Yeah, I just really appreciate Sandy Whitehawk. Hey, if you're listening to the show, you're part of the resistance from Chief Plenty Coops, the ground on which we stand on. It's sacred ground. It's the blood of our ancestors. We need to resist, divest, join a group, run for office, and vote, vote, vote. We're still here. We are the seventh generation.
The Minneapolis